Karl Marx said that society is in a state of perpetual conflict because of competition for limited resources. He says, social order is maintained by domination and power rather than by consensus and conformity. Those with wealth and power try to hold on to it by any means possible, chiefly pressing the poor and powerless. The Meiteis, Kukis and Nagas and their subtribes, all of Tibeto-Burman origin, form the three main ethnic groups settled in the Principality of Manipur. Others living there are now in very small numbers are the non-tribals, Bengalis known as Pangals and Moirangs, outsiders. Manipur is bounded by Nagaland, Mizoram and Assam on the three sides and faces the international boundary with Myanmar in the east. The capital Imphal lies in the middle in an oval-shaped valley comprising 10% of the total land area of the state. It is surrounded by hills running north-south connected by spurs and ridges. It is here in the valley resides the Meiteis, who are around 60% of the total population. Meiteis continue to have a significant influence on trade, business, administration and culture of Manipur. They are the oldest ethnic group here. Some point out that their mention is found in mythology, urged Princess Chitrangada of Manipur, but that Manipur had a seashore. It is not the present-day Manipur, but Odisha. In history, their mention is first found in court chronicles of the kings of Kangleipak, old name of Manipur, of the 1st century AD. They followed the polytheist religion of Sanamahism until King Charairongba accepted Vaishnavite Hinduism in 1704. He changed his traditional Meitei name into Hindu name Pitambar Singh. Of the total Meitei population, 16% still retain Sanamahism, also known as Meitei Maru, are Hindus. Revival of Sanamahism around the middle of the last century saw the banning of Bengali script of the Manipuris in the 1970s. The Bengali script was introduced by King Garib Niwas, who made Hinduism the state religion in 1717 and changed the name of his kingdom to Manipur in 1724. Forest-covered rugged hills surrounding the valley are the abode of the Nagas and the Kukis. The Kukis, who were animists, comprise around 30% of the population and live mostly in the southern hills. The Chin people of Myanmar and the Mizo people of Mizoram are the kindred tribes of the Kukis and are collectively known as the Zo people. In part of the 19th century, some Kukis were settled near Moirang on the southwest side of the valley by the then Maharaja of Manipur. The name Kuki was given to them by the Bengalis at the end of the 18th century when the chief of the neighbouring Chittagong appealed to the British Governor-General Warren Hastings for help against Kuki raids from the hills. The Manipur king, for centuries, often raided Upper Burma. In retaliation, in the 1820s, the Burmese conquered Manipur and went up to Assam. This led to the outbreak of the Anglo-Burmese War of 1824-26. At this juncture, the Manipur king went into alliance with the British in 1824 and accepted sovereignty and invited them to protect against future Burmese attack. When Manipur wanted to shake off British colonialism at the end of the 19th century, the British attacked Kangla, the palace of Manipur, in 1891, leading to an undeclared Anglo-Manipur War. However, the battle was over in a month's time in favor of the British. In 1937, when Burma was being separated from British India, the king negotiated with the British administration to continue to be part of the Indian Empire rather than part of Burma. When the British left, Manipur re-emerged as an independent kingdom, but with a rider to join either India or Pakistan. On the other hand, the Kuki community in the hills remained separated and non-involved in all these negotiations with the British. They remained independent and was ruled by their own chieftains. It is when the imperial rulers gradually began to convert them into Christianity at the end of the 19th century did the first resistance to Britain, the Kuki Rebellion, start. The rebellion continued for 2 years, 1917 to 19, and on their defeat, their territory was divided between British India and British Burma. Christian missionaries entered their domain and began to convert them rapidly into Christianity. Today, almost all Kukis but their zeal to remain independent has not ceased. In the present troubled times in Manipur, it is necessary to remind the Manipuris the exemplary brotherhood and harmony that was present among them during the liberation of India led by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. In early 1944, the combined Indian National Army and the Japanese Army launched a three-pronged attack on the British Army from northern Burma. An INA battalion moved along the sea coast of Burma towards India, breaking through the British West African Commonwealth Division and liberated Mau Dock near Chittagong. With the support of the Gandhi Brigade, the Japanese forces and the Azad Brigade crossed the Indo-Burma border and moved towards Imphal and Kohima. The Bahadur group acted as a pathfinder and was successful in making large-scale defections from the British Indian Army. The Subhas Brigade, backed by a Japanese Army division, crossed over to Manipur on 18 March 1944. They liberated the southern hills ranges of Manipur, the land of the cookies. The advancement of a Japanese division was so fast that the British division resisting them withdrew 5 to 10 kilometers away from Moirang, the land of the Meiteis and Cookies. Soon, Moirang was liberated. This liberation war, known as the Battle of Imphal, was the most difficult battle of the time for the British Army. The British Army Museum bestowed the battle as Britain's greatest battle. The advanced INA headquarters was established on 14th April 1944 at the residential building of H. Nilamani Singh at Moirang, who later became the Deputy Education Minister of Manipur. Colonel Shaukat Ali Malik, commander of the intelligence wing of the INA Bahadur Group, hoisted the Indian Charkha tribe in a ceremonial manner before a gathering of 50 to 60 Meiteis and Cookies. Ali's speech was translated into Manipuri by Marembam Moirang Singh, who later became the first Chief Minister of Manipur. All military operations and administration of the liberated area were conducted from this building. Major General A.C. Chatterjee was designated as the Chief Administrator. The people of Moirang were jubilant and extended full support and cooperation to the Liberation Army. The Cookies' contribution to the INA were diverse and significant. They displayed immense bravery and determination on the battlefield. Cookie women actively participated in the underground activities, providing intelligence and aid to INA. The Meiteis supplied voluntarily rice, dry fishes, vegetables and grains to the Indo-Japanese army. The Azad Hind administration prevailed for around 3 months. The kingdom joined India, believed to be under duress, in October 1949, 2 years after India's independence. Hinduism made them leave beef but brought to their community the caste system. The uppermost caste is the Ningthauja, or the ruling class, and the lowest Chakpa in menial tasks. After India's constitution came into effect, some Meitei got listed under scheduled caste and later some others under other backward classes, but majority of them identified themselves to be of the higher caste. When the first backward class commission, Kalelkar Commission 1953-55, was set up, the upper caste Meiteis did not include themselves in any of the lists. The Meiteis' exclusion from the scheduled tribe list was by their own choice. All these centuries, the Meitei maintained domination in the state over the tribes with their wealth and power, vindicating the Marxian theory. But in recent times, they wanted to be downgraded in the social ladder. Therefore, automatically the question arises, why the higher caste Hindus now want to be recognized as scheduled tribe? Why they want to be with the Cookie tribe, whom they contemptuously called Hao, that is tribal, and use abusive words, Hao Thu, the untouchables. Deep beneath the frantic demand for becoming scheduled tribe is an untold story which fits in perfectly with the Marxist doctrine. Those with wealth and power try to hold on to it by any means possible, even if they have to become scheduled tribe. The stories of precious metals, minerals, lobby and political benefits. The GSI reported finding of nickel, copper and platinum group elements, platinum group metals, apart from malachite, azurite and magnetite in Manipur. This lies under the earth strata of the hills, which is home to the Cookies. The precious minerals are in that territory. In most parts of the world, the precious metals and minerals are found in forest land. The indigenous people are pushed out forcibly with improper compensation. The Manipur government followed up the GSA findings by formulating and notifying the Manipur Mineral Policy 2021 and issued an extraordinary gazette on 5th 2022. In this, they have kept the required relief and rehabilitation provisions for transparency and compensation for the land and persons affected by the mining. Memorandum of Understanding has been signed with well-known private companies for mining survey and extraction works. Tension started in February when the state government began evicting Kukis from reserved forest lands. With anguish, they were watching helplessly their hilltops being chopped off by monstrous machines and excavating the earth and rock below. They feel the land rights assured to them by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs was a deception. They are in no mood to give up their settlements. Indigenous people nowhere give up their forest lands on their own. With the Kukis, it would be more difficult for the state machinery as Kuki militant outfits from across the border are ready to exploit the situation. A bloody conflict was certain. On the other hand, the Métis feared Kukis' exodus to the valley. With cash in hand from compensation received from the hilly properties, they would gobble up land in the overcrowded valley. This will upset their numerical superiority. They would have to live side by side with the Hao and Hao-Thus. Sacrificing the upper caste Hindu mindset, they were demanding scheduled tribe status that will enable them to buy land in the hills and make a quick buck by reselling them to mining corporates. The government and the judiciary thus, in its wisdom and strategy, decided to award the Métis community with scheduled tribe status. The authorities could thereby avoid a direct conflict with the Kukis. Rather, they advanced the time of conflict. Once the Métis start moving into the hills, it would be a conflict between Métis and Kukis. Once this conflict gets over in favor of the Métis, the mining giants can move in peacefully, following the path of least resistance. In the interest of early start of mining works by the corporates, the conflict needed to be hastened for an early settlement. The Métis are Hindus and the Kukis Christians. Marx said, "Religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature, the heart of a heartless world, and the soul of a soulless condition. It is the opium of the people." So, target the Kukis, blame them for the poppy cultivation in the hills, drive away the illegal Kuki immigrants to Myanmar. They are Christians. The fact that the states of the Northeast are all under the drug menace with cultivation of poppy and ganja, and Manipur cannot be solved in isolation, was of no consideration. The fact that the Kuki illegal immigrants are refugees, victims of the civil war in Myanmar and attacks on the minority communities, to large-scale influx of immigrants to the border villages of Manipur and Mizoram was of no consideration. What could be a better trigger other than bulldozing 3 churches on April 11th at tribal colony of Imphal East for being illegal construction? Soon, the expected retaliation took place. On April 29th, Kuki miscreants desecrated the Métis 7-color flag and damaged God's shrine in Churachandpur's district. On 3rd May, Tribal Students' Union held a protest march against the scheduled tribe status to Métis, and all hell broke out from that day. Clashes between Kukis and Métis started, which has resulted in over 160 deaths far. The shocking incident of 4th May followed. 2 months later, India, nay, the whole world, saw the viral video which rattled the nation's conscience. The pogrom had just started. Union Home Minister Amit Shah admitted at a press conference in Imphal on 1st June 2023, "I can say without any hesitation that the order by the Manipur High Court was given in haste, which led to ethnic violence between the two communities." On 17th May, The Supreme Court observed that the High Court ordered the state government to consider the Meitei community's plea to be included in the scheduled tribe category was completely factually wrong. All said and done by the minister and the court, that ordinary Meiteis turning into such vile thugs could not have happened overnight. This happens only when the community on which such violence has been unleashed has been demonized and dehumanized insidiously through every possible means. Ordinary village would not have the audacity to do what they did unless they have been assured impunity. Impunity by the state and its institutions over which the hegemonic majority community, the perpetrators, belong to, have a stranglehold on. The violence was inevitably engineered. The people of Manipur are proud of being the owner of rich reserves of mineral resources. They feel the land and the resources belong to the indigenous people's community. Indigenous people's self-determined rights to sustainably manage the land and natural resources should be recognized. Mining companies usually fail the rights of the communities and fail to adequately compensate or rehabilitate the affected communities. The plunder of land and natural resources in Manipur through mining will only lead to the weakening of Manipur's economy. Corporate bodies are known for concealing their profit to evade tax and contribution to local economies. The limited royalty from mining will hardly reach the people, but will further consolidate the wealth of the powerful elites. Such royalties will be disproportionate to the loss of land and resources for Manipur. Mining companies and financiers thirst for insatiable profits lead to land grabbing, depleted resources, exploiting cheap labor and inequality among the people. The mining operation will intensify the multifaceted conflict and human rights situation in Manipur. The amendments to Forest Conservation Act 1980, introduced recently without noticeable discussion in Parliament, is another contentious issue. It has exempted certain categories of forest lands from purview of the Act to fast-track projects. It is now 3 months. It is absolutely necessary that the conflict must end. India does not want to see the Mizos driving away Meiteis from the state and the Assamese driving away the Mizos, as is the latest unfortunate development. The other 6 of the 7 sister states of the Northeast must intervene and take care in ending the ethnic communal conflict in Manipur. There is no doubt that the cookies are at the receiving end. The Meiteis and cookies must be made to sit together and pledge end to all violent activities. Our national political parties has a responsibility. When the government has been unable to stop the violence in the past 3 months, they must individually be seen taking the responsibility of ending this mayhem in a sister state. It is an overstatement to say that to succeed, the government must help from national parties. The Meiteis and Kukis, who fought unitedly under Netaji's leadership, need to bring back social order through consensus and establish unity with inclusiveness that they saw in Netaji's approach in giving us this independent. Jai Hind.